Buying a home involves a lot of steps, and they can seem complicated, but really it's just about the details. So what we're going to do today is to actually illustrate the visual of all the steps that have to happen as you go through the process of buying a home. The first step is that you get pre-approved for financing. This step makes sure that you have all your ducks in a row and you get all your supporting documents to your lender so that you know that your mortgage will be in place once you've found your perfect home. It sends a strong message to the seller that you're ready, willing, and able to buy their home. The next step is finding your home. So say you found that home and you make an offer and that offer gets accepted. Now you're under contract. Generally, it's about 30 to 45 days before we close, and so a bunch of stuff has to happen that requires you to work closely with both your lender and realtor to ensure a smooth close. Next is locking the interest rate. Until now, your loan's been floating with the market because you haven't been under contract. Now's a good time to talk to your loan officer about locking your loan to protect against rising interest rates. You'll also want to get updated supporting documents to your lender, such as pay stubs, bank statements, and any canceled checks for deposits that you may have written on your new home. Receiving a good faith estimate and loan disclosures comes next. These are all the state and federally mandated disclosures that outline and spell out the details of the loan that you'll be taking out to complete your purchase. You'll need to sign and return them to your loan officer as soon as possible because nothing can happen without them. Next, you open escrow and title. On the back end, your realtor is opening escrow with the settlement attorney that you have chosen to work with, and your lender's probably ordered title history and title insurance as well. Now's a good time to secure your homeowner's insurance. So one of the first calls you'll want to make after your offer's been accepted is to your insurance agent to determine what the cost will be to insure your new home and to give him or her the time they'll need to bind coverage. Inspecting and appraising the property is a very critical stage in the process. This is about the time that most buyers get a home inspection. Home inspections are comprehensive inspections that can range anywhere from $250 to more than $1,000 depending on the property and your needs. Simultaneously, your lender is having your new home appraised by a state licensed appraiser in order to determine the comparative value of the home. Appraisals for single-family homes in North Carolina can range anywhere from $400 to $500 and vary based on property types. These are two items that you can expect to pay for out of pocket before closing because they are for your benefit. It's pretty common for your home inspection to turn up a laundry list of items. After all, that's why you hired an inspector. Generally, there'll be some negotiations for repairs and or concessions, but your realtor is a professional and he can work this out. The next step is submission to underwriting. Once we have a completed file with all the required income, asset, credit verifications, including title, appraisal, and homeowner's insurance, we'll then submit your completed loan application to an underwriter for an approval. This step generally takes about 3 to 5 days, depending on the loan type and seasonal volume. An underwriter will respond in one of 3 ways. You're approved, we need more stuff, that's pretty normal, or you're not approved. So once we've got that approval, we need to gather the conditions that have been requested by the underwriter, because what we're really looking for next is the final approval. Next, we submit the final conditions and have the underwriter sign off on those conditions. That generally takes a few more days. Once final approval is received or clear to close, this is where everyone starts to breathe again, because the underwriter has signed off on all the outstanding conditions and has approved the file to move to the next phase, which is the closing phase. Here's where things start moving really fast. Your realtor will coordinate with your loan officer to schedule a closing where you and the seller will sign all the final documents. Your loan officer orders closing documents for the attorney's office. Once your attorney receives the closing package, he'll produce a final settlement statement, sometimes called a HUD-1, which shows where every penny of your sale price and loan proceeds will be dispersed at closing. This will also let you know how much money you'll be required to bring to closing in the form of a bank cashier's check. It should be pretty close to your original good faith estimate, but if it isn't, now's a good time to call your loan officer to find out why. Next, you'll be signing your loan documents. That's pretty straightforward. You're going to go and sign your loan documents. Your attorney will record the new deed and deed of trust or mortgage at the county, and then they will fund your loan. Now you get your keys. And that's it. That's the whole process in a visual. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and be sure to share it with your friends and family.